Wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Hi, Bullhorn Betty. Thank you for my shirt. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Kids Club.
And slid down so we can see a red suitcase right here for law enforcement if they're watching and you guys would like to come back here. Of her being out here. So this is what we're doing today. We will see you guys back here real soon.
Let me tell y'all something. You ain't got to ever worry about getting nobody back for some shit they done did to you. Because quiet as it's kept, everybody working get paid. Let me break that down so you understand what I mean. Everybody working getting paid. See, some of you motherfuckers don't even know that you're working. But payday comes after a while, bitch. You being messy, you're working. You gossiping about people, you're working. You stealing, lying, cheating, or just all around doing some fuck shit, you're working. And payday is on its motherfucking way. Ha ha! Let me tell you something, you working motherfuckers. Some of you bitches got overtime in that bitch too. Ooh, that payout gonna be good. So when you get your check, bitch, don't complain. You worked for it.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Good morning, my beautiful people of YouTube and Twitter this morning. We're going to need Jesus. I'm just saying, we're going to need Jesus today. We're going to need Jesus. And the great thing is we're going to church right after this. We're going to church. I don't think the pastor said, hey, Betty, we need a lesson on karma. First thing Sunday morning. I don't think... I need to stop. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I got to tell you, the last couple days have been a little crazy. I have to admit, I have been working my little tail off. I've been researching this stuff, online and everything. We're going to get the language of letting go. I have to be honest with you. Some of the stuff you see online, right? It just cracks you up. I don't know where it comes from. It just pulls up in your feed and then boom, right? You're looking at it. You're just dying. We're going to get to that in a second. Good morning, Cranky Pants. Up entirely too early on a Saturday morning. It's not even 6:30 here on the East Coast, and we're already wide awake. What is going on? Good morning, Cranky Pants. Candy Apple, it's nice to see you. Our beautiful Sonia. While I'm seeing Sonia on here, you guys know we're changing our level, our membership. I went through there to count up the votes. We're retallying the votes, okay? You guys can't put, I like 4, 5, and 6, okay? It's one vote, one number, okay? One vote, one number per person. So when I went there to tally it up, because I was hoping to do a winner chicken dinner on today's show, and we can't. I got to do it tomorrow. I got to do it on Manic Monday, right? On Manic Monday. No, not Monday. No. We want to act like, right? Hopefully you guys can hear the effects. This morning. So the reason why I'm talking about it now is because Sonia is going to be sending out whoever, whatever. So it's got to be Bullhorn Betty swag Sonia has. You can pick anything from her collection. I have to be honest with you. I'd like to see some of those Be a Betty, right? I'd like to see some Be a Betty shirts out there walking the streets around this country. I have to be honest with you. Get yourself a Be Betty. And don't forget, Christmas is coming up. And I got to tell you, the shirts and the hats are amazing. If you want some gag gifts, she's got a bunch of stuff. Just reach out to her. Do you want custom items? Reach out to Sonia. She does great work, and she's always willing to help in these cases. So thank you, Sonia, for everything that you do. Good morning, Joyce. It's nice to see you. We even have Cool Gamer, Pin 1010, his lamb. Good morning from Texas. Obsessed with true crime. Well, good morning, Love Bug. I hope you're doing well. The Real Me Too is in the house. I hope you're doing well too. Who else do we have? the givers and the takers. Good morning. There are a lot of them, right? There are a lot of them. Gigi for life. It's nice to see you. Sandra, nice to see you. Shannon, good morning. Hindsight 2020. Trixie, good morning. Good morning. And who else do we have? I think I got everybody. If I missed somebody, good morning. It's nice to see you. I know we never do Sunday, Sunday, because we go to church on Sunday and it's kind of our rest and relaxation Sunday. But I had a few days off because I was down south. I still haven't gotten the videos together. I might just throw those out raw because you guys will laugh at me because there's some bloopers. There's a lot. When I go out to these things, I used to be able to hit them all in one, right? That means I can just, film, and my first shot is I'm one and done. I love it when I do that. And it's one of those things where I can't do it anymore, right? I can't do it anymore. So it's like if I forget, if I'm just there, and trust me, it does happen where you're talking about something that you research thoroughly, and you're talking about it, and your mind just goes blank. It just goes blank, and you can't remember like a date, right? And then I'm like having to say like October 12th, October 13th, October 14th, October 15th, so I can cut the right date out and stick it in the video. I hate when that happens. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But it does. It always happens. It always happens sometime, at least once or twice on a trip, where I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Anyways, talking about some of the stuff, and then we'll get over to the language of letting go. I don't know if it's in the air or what is going on out there in the world. And I really don't watch nature. I don't watch nature at all. Okay. I don't know why anything nature would be in my For You page on YouTube. I have literally no idea where this stuff comes from or how it gets in the algorithm where it shows me something. Because I've got to tell you, when I saw this, I about died. I didn't know what it was at first. I'm sorry. It's too early. We're going to need Jesus. We're going to need Jesus. I'm so sorry, but this came through my feed, and I'm like, what in the world is that? And I started looking up at it, and it's hippos mating. Where does this stuff come from? How does this get into Bullhorn Betty's For You page? I don't get it. This is not what I want to be seeing on a Sunday morning. I have to be honest with you. Seeing a couple of hippos should not be in my news feed, okay? It just shouldn't be in my news feed. But I have to be, somebody say, oh, how cute. Are you kidding me? It's Sunday. Like I said, we need Jesus. Even YouTube. Oh, definitely not the image I wanted waking up to first thing Sunday morning. I have to be honest with you. The image of hippos mating first thing on a Sunday morning is definitely not what I want to be seeing or thinking of, for that matter. So on that note, oh, I needed that. Again, we all need to go to church after this. Oh, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. Oh, you know what? I just realized I read the wrong passage this morning. I try to read these to see what it says to kind of have an idea of what I may say afterwards, right? Right? Sneaky Betty? Well, I read the wrong one. I have to think that was by design, right? The things that we don't see, the signs that we get. And I was unprepared for this long-winded one. I read this one down here. I got to read this one up here. It's long. So here on the Bullhorn Betty Show, we talk true crime all the time. So we try to take at least a few minutes before we start the show and hand all the gunk, all of our emotion, and try to figure out who we are as people. Who we are as people. We don't just talk true crime. We talk about empowering people. making people better than they were before they got to the Bullhorn Betty channel, right? And we also want to promote doing good in your community. You don't like what's going on? Do something about it. We empower people over here on this channel. You see an injustice, you see a child being abused, you step in. Here on the Bullhorn Betty channel, we're all about if you see something, you say something. We're also all about silence is an answer too. Silence is an answer too. Oh, thank you, love. Shannon has gifted 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships. Thank you, love bug. And if you received one of those 5 memberships, please, please, please go out there and make sure you tell Shannon thank you. God bless you, Shannon. Thank you. That's a wonderful Sunday present. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, and many of you guys know that I'm making all of our preachers on this channel like want to just put their hands on me and say, we need to pray for you, Bullhorn Betty. We need to put our hands on you and pray for you. Because you're saying a lot of bad words on your channel here lately, right? We're saying a lot of bad words on your channel. It's because we have a swear jar. This swear jar is for a collection. So if you guys are swearing in the chat, if I'm swearing out here, we have a swear jar for that. We're raising money for Jennifer Santinello. Jennifer Santinello is Layla Santinello's mother. Layla Santinello went missing on June 27th, 2023 from Kingsport, Tennessee. We've been out there searching for her. She's got a story. She was me at one time, and Jen was my mom at one time, except I'm here. And I have the ability to help, and that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to be planning another trip out to Tennessee real soon. We've already raised on another one of our shows. We already raised for Jennifer $100.50, which since it was so high that day, I went ahead and immediately sent her that money directly. So we didn't put it in the cuss jar. So the cuss jar looks like it's empty, but it's not, because we already just sent just a few days ago $100, a little over $100 to Jennifer. So right now we have, I think, like $21 in here, and it should actually be like 33. So I owe the jar $12. Okay. Bullhorn Betty needs to stick an IOU in there. Okay. What can I say? I haven't been to the bank. Okay, guys, calm down. I haven't been to the bank yet. Okay. I don't go out very often, right? I don't go out very often. All right, let's get on with it. So November 12th, the one passage that I did not read this morning because clearly I was off a day. Use your connections. As I glanced through the pages of a writer's magazine one morning, I realized how important this magazine had been in my life. When I began writing back in the late 70s, I had no writer friends. I was on my own with a dream, and a sketchy one at that. But by reading this monthly magazine aimed at aspiring writers, I knew I wasn't alone. Other people had done what I wanted to do. They had started where I was at. This magazine was an important part of believing I can. From time to time, we all need connections that help us believe. If we're beginning recovery from an issue like codependency or chemical dependency, our group meetings help us believe I can. If we're learning a new skill like skydiving or flying a plane, sometimes talking to someone that can remember what it felt like to be unsure, awkward, and unskilled goes much further than talking to somebody that can only remember being a mastery of the craft. One day at the drop zone, I grabbed a man who had jumped out of the airplane over 10,000 times. I'm so scared each time I jump, I said. It's normal to be afraid. Or is it normal to be afraid? This is skydiving professional who was assured and respected, looked at me and smiled. I was so frightened my first 100 jumps, I couldn't even breathe. When you're trying to believe you can, whether it's believing you can stay sober for the next 24 hours, learning to take care of yourself, being a single parent, being in a good relationship, learning to write, learning to type, or learning to jump out of a plane, make good, solid connections to people, places, and things that help you believe I can. And if you run into someone who's walking a path that you've already walked, remember and share how it felt in the beginning so they can come to believe too. It's called testifying. God, thank you for sending me the connections I need, and let me be of service wherever possible by being honest and speaking from my heart so I can be good connections as well. Good connections as well. And it does have some activity. It does have some activity there. What is the activity? Hold on, let me just see. In case those of you that do actually want to do the activity. I don't do the activities anymore. I probably should. Probably would help me. Make a list of your connections, right? And it goes through how to make the list of your connections. But I think it's like, we should appreciate the people that are in our lives that help and guide us along the way, help us guide us along the way. What you didn't hear in that passage was the people that prevent you from trying to be successful or do things to derail you when you're trying to be successful, right? And those things also do happen. But you didn't read about it in the book. Why? Because it's always about an attitude with gratitude. Okay, we're done with Bullhorn Betty philosophy. It is nice to see everybody today. So a lot of stuff is going on. I decided to pick out 2 cases today to discuss with each and every one of you. Oh, I forgot. Good morning, Jen. It's nice to see you, love. I hope you're doing wonderful. It is free. It's free. If you haven't thumbed up yet, you will. Right? You will. What was my thing? Now you guys get my poll, right? Now you guys get my poll. Did you hit the like button? Yes, I love the coffee club. No, I'm a mating hippo. I don't know why that cracks me up so much. But it does. It does. It does. It does. The things that make you go home. All right. Seriously. I'm going to true crime. I promise. I'm going to true crime now. I promise. I'm not going to be talking about the hippos anymore. So we just learned over 18% mating hippos are in here. I just can't. I don't know what it is about the hippos. I think it's because oh my God. That's an applause to you, 18%. I love you guys. Rock it out with your coffee beans out, babes. Welcome to the Sunday edition of the Bullhorn Betty channel. We need Jesus. We need Jesus over here. Okay, so getting on to a serious thing. So, Dylan Mortensen, we were shocked. We all felt bad for her. We did all feel bad. Let's be honest. I need a laugh like Betty this morning. Help me wake up. You're not woke up yet? Here, let me help you. Hold on. Let me go get the bullhorn. I'm just joking. Which one is it? Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Is it this one? No. Oh, here it is. Can you guys hear my effects? Are you woke up yet? Do you want me to put an alarm clock on? Tell me you guys can hear my effects. Okay, good. Okay, so the Idaho murder, we for those that are just tuning in that don't know what the Idaho 4, I'm pretty sure everybody knows what the Moscow murders are. Idaho 4, Brian Kohberger, but just in case you can't, Brian Kohberger was arrested in connection with the senseless murder of 4 University of Idaho students on the outskirts of the Idaho campus of the Idaho University. That's tongue tie, right? It happened in the early morning hours between 4 a.m. and 4:20 a.m. where somebody went into their house and apparently went from the 3rd floor down, killing and the third floor, Maddie and Kaylee, and then coming down and killing Ethan and Xana Kernodle on the second floor. We learned through the probable cause affidavit that Dylan Mortensen actually saw the assailant walk through the house and exit the sliding glass door through the kitchen. There was rumors that there were some conversations through text between them. I can tell you that I've heard those same rumors. There was articles about what those texts may have said and when they may have happened. And I would caution everybody that's reading even, notable publications to caution yourself on reading that, because I don't think them having this conversation while their roommates were being brutalized actually happened. I think they heard noises. They may have just checked to see what was going on. Things calmed down. I think there was not really a whole lot there, but there's still some issues with this case because Dylan did see this assailant walk out, a muscular person, all in black, mask covering it, this assailant's face as he walks out the door and leaves the residence. Well, from the time that happened to the time they called 911, there was a significant amount of time, a significant window of time from that moment, hours, 8 hours to be closely exact, right? And because of these things, Dylan Mortensen came under fire. I think it was at first, I think it had to do with just the shock factor for many of us. I know that's what it was for me. When I learned that she saw the assailant and waited 8 hours, I was a little angry about that. I was a little upset about that. I think many people were. We didn't know, what happened. And we didn't know why it took so long. And we were hearing so many rumors, like people were in the house hours before they called law enforcement. And if that is true, which I can't say it's true because this is the Bullhorn Betty channel. And if I'm going to say something as fact, I need to have it corroborated. And I haven't had it corroborated. I heard rumors just like every one of you and the other people across these social media platforms. But there hasn't been any law enforcement that's told us that there was kids there hours before law enforcement was called. But what they did say was that everybody in the house at the time that they arrived had been cleared. Hey, Med Gas Guy, it's nice to see you, love. Sweet Misery, it's lovely to see you here as well. I don't think I personally called out just yet. It's nice to have you. So we're looking at those issues, and I can understand that she feels the whole weight of the world on her shoulders, because at the end of the day, we really don't know why. There probably is a plausible explanation that we're not taking into consideration. And I did have time to kind of, go over the case, look at the case, see if there was any areas that we could have improved. And of course, with every case, there always is. I don't believe in perfection. I don't believe there is such thing as perfect. I believe we are a work in progress, and it's progress, not perfection, right? That's our world here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. So if things aren't perfect, then we have to understand that people do make mistakes. So I understand that there may be a plausible explanation. These kids, when I had an opportunity to go back and look at, some of the things that I said, some of the opinions I had, a lot of them are still the same as I did. A lot of them are, even after all this new information has come out. A lot of the stuff I stated was good information. So I haven't had any worries with it. But we know that this has to be very hard on Dylan Mortensen, and we're learning that she's changing schools, which I think is good mentally for her. I mean, even if this wasn't happening, even if she wasn't kind of under fire, you know what I'm saying? If that's the case, then she should leave anyways. I think that just the PTSD of everything should have, she should probably go someplace else. Just for her personally, I can't imagine having to go to the same school that all this happened at. You know what I'm saying? It just seems really, I don't know, bizarre. So I'm glad she's moving on, but now they're talking about survivor's guilt, and Dylan. And I have to imagine that she probably does have survivor's guilt. And I've seen it because I've talked to a few people from Palestine, right? And I went to an event for Palestine. I didn't record it. I just wanted to go hear what it was about. And I spoke to a few people. And I think one of the things that they talked to me about was survivor's guilt, because they're here and some of their family are not. So I understand that. We actually talked about survivor's guilt on here with both Dylan and Bethany. But there was somebody that was close to Dylan. Remember, we kind of came down. I think Snow was in here. Was it Snow? I think it was Snow. Was it Snow? Just Samantha. It was just Samantha. It was just Samantha. Was it Snow? It was just Samantha. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. And just Samantha was in here, and all this stuff was coming out from Ashley Banfield about this, her friend, but this friend was like, he's in the inner circle, but not the inner circle. And, just weird stuff. And he was talking about how Dylan had survivor's guilt. And it's like, everything he was really saying really was like, yeah, that could probably happen. I can see where that happens. You know what I'm saying? I really can. And, but it didn't seem like he had all the information. It seemed like he was getting information from another person, and then putting it out as his own. And then Ashley Banfield comes along and takes that story and runs like she has corroborated information from a source very close to Dylan Mortensen. It was the craziest thing I had ever seen. I mean, it truly was. It was nutty. It was really, truly nutty, hearing some of the stuff that we were hearing. So she's changed, and now we have this whole big thing going on where people are making a big deal and putting her back into the media. And of course, it's causing us to talk about it. And now probably throughout this day, people are probably going to be analyzing, this move that Dylan Mortensen made, to move on to a different university, to deal with some of the stuff that she's dealing with. And I could tell you, for the people that feel bad about Dylan Mortensen and this brutality, I could tell you, you had an opportunity when this was happening not to support the channels that were promoting the attack of Dylan Mortensen. We were able to be here on the Bullhorn Betty channel and have conversations, tough conversations about this without attacking people. I think the worst thing that I think I said, which caused rise and got me an article in the Vanity Fair, was when I asked, and it was a legit question at the time, had, Dylan Mortensen called 911, could she have at least saved Xana? We didn't know. And it was a legitimate question. It was an 8-hour window. And I'm sorry, we all have a right to ask. So it got me a little snippet in Vanity Fair from a butthurt Betty. I still want to shout out. Thank you, Brian Enton. Thank you. I want to tell you thank you, because he did, right? He had an opportunity. They tried to gaslight him into saying something bad about Bullhorn Betty, and he refused to. Thank you. That's integrity. I'm sorry. When I think of people, it's not just about who they are and how far up the ladder they go, because when I met Brian Enton, he really wasn't far up the ladder. We were all out in front, all new people out in front of Brian Laundrie's house. I don't even know. He's like, he's just, we just learned to love like Brian Enton, because I can tell you he is so genuine, but I love it. I love it because he had an opportunity to totally, bash Bullhorn Betty, right? Be a basher, Betty basher. We got enough of them. You're doing something right when you have a whole line of haters behind you. But you know what? The lovers are triple the line. So probably 10 times more. I don't know. We got to talk about some Betty love. Come on, baby. We already watched Mating Hippos. We're spreading the love this Sunday. Spreading the love. But You know, Dylan has come under a lot of fire here in Daily Mail. You know, I know some of the photographers that are with the Daily Mail. I got to tell you, I love them. I love them. I know they're a little crazy, but I do love them because they take their job seriously and they go out and get their job done, right? If it wasn't for the Daily Mail, we wouldn't even have half the photos that circulate the internet right now, because they're the bomb, right? I mean, they've got photographers all over the world. The Daily Mail does. Hey, Big Mac Mike. Did you guys know what number Mike's contest? What is it? The contest was? Can anybody figure out which one was Mike? Mike, this is the Bullhorn Betty channel, okay? This is not McDonald's. I don't know if you noticed that or not, Mike. Did you notice that? We're a rock it out with your coffee beans out type of thing. Is that a heart attack with a Big Mac and some French fries? Oh, didn't you put some milkshakes in there too? The mating hippos need a Big Mac. They're exhausted. They're exhausted and hungry. Oh my gosh, we need to stop. We need to stop. We're talking about serious stuff here. So Monroe, who's Monroe? 53. So it says Monroe, who married Mortensen's father. So this is some statements from the family. So this would be more, and this is why I like the Daily Mail, and as opposed to Ashley Banfield, right? Ashley Banfield, you know, she goes to anybody that'll say anything she needs her to say, right? Needs them to say, and well, the Daily Mail, they dig a little deeper. They dig a little deeper, and I like them. I actually do. The Daily Mail photographers are crazy like Bullhorn Betty. They'll accidentally stop a car by not blocking the driveway. Blocking, but not blocking, right? Oh, am I here? Oh, I'm so sorry. They are sneaky. So Monroe, who's married to Dylan's father and who helped raise Dylan from the age of 7, she was telling the New York Post that she remained close to the family and Mortensen was okay. Monroe, 53, said there's a lot of guilt because, you know, if someone says, oh, well, Dylan, Dylan was so lucky, you know, you don't want to take on that luck because all the children deserve luck. So I get what she's trying to say. They all deserved to be spared from that. And I have to agree. And, you know, you got to understand, Dylan lived with these people. She woke up with these people. You know, they had a camaraderie. They had a friendship that when you're roommates, and it's like, you know, I think we've all had roommates a time or two, haven't we? I know I have. I remember my very first house I purchased. I was 24 years old when I purchased my first home, right? And I remember I'm like, you know, well, I can live here and really not have a whole lot at the end of the month, or I can rent out to a couple friends. I had a 3-bedroom house, so why not rent the rooms out, right? I'm 20 something, certainly, right? I got enough crazy friends that'll shack up with me, right? I need to stop. But that's what I did. And, you know, I had 2 friends. Well, one of them was a friend and that rented one room. And then another one was a person that became a friend, right? It was just somebody that I ran an ad in, did a background check, blah, blah, blah. But in my 20s, that's what I did. I rented my 2 rooms out and I paid my mortgage. I had money. I was able to go out and have fun because now I had 2 incomes, you know, basically extra income coming in, right? But I have to tell you, we grew close, right? We ended up, it went from us just coming in from work, saying, hi, how are you? And going into the kitchen, making each of our foods, going into our own separate bedrooms. And we all started becoming friends and we started going shopping together. And then next thing you know, we start going out together. And then next thing you know, our friends start, you know, all of our friends start coming over and hanging out together. And it's like one big happy family. And I have to think that these kids had been at the school. This is what many people, this wasn't their first year at the school. Just because they had just moved into that particular house this particular semester, or this particular school year, doesn't mean that they just got there. These people knew each other for a while. They've been going to school with each other for years. They have camaraderie, friendships, relationship with one another. Betty's a real girl. That's what I'm used to. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mike. I'll have to send you a Big Mac. I'll say, yeah, I can't even send you a Big Mac because if you get a heart attack, Bullhorn Betty's going to feel bad, man. Right? I'm going to feel bad. Can anybody see me in my chat? Yes, Jerry, so we can see you. It always makes me so concerned when people ask me if they're seen in my chat. It makes me feel like they were kicked out and they know they were in trouble, and they're coming. Right? I know as soon as somebody says that, my mods their antennas start coming up, and then they get their list out. Don't forget to get that the URL. Jen's like, be right back. You think they would know before they started renting? Oh Lord. We see you, Jerry. We see you. I'm just joking. We're just having a little fun. We're poking. Oh, my pal Sal. Nice to see you. My vintage friend. I'm becoming vintage too. I can't see anymore without these. So she goes on to say, Mortensen's stepmom, it sounds like, just based on this article that I'm reading, that she was with Dylan's father. Apparently something happened where they're not together anymore, but Dylan still, stays close because she did raise her from the age of 7 to, it sounds like, until she graduated high school. So just a few years ago. So that would have been a very close relationship. And I could definitely see Dylan still, keeping in a close contact with her, because it's my understanding that Dylan lives with her dad and not her mother. And if that's the case, maybe she is looking for that connection with a woman, a mother, a maternal figure in her life. It's possible for that. It's really sad because Dylan's been through so much. And even when I talk about it, I got to tell you, some of the stuff that we talk about on here when it comes to Dylan, it does kind of hurt my heart a little bit, but it's stuff that we have to talk about. It hurts my heart that we have to go down this avenue of this 8-hour window, and her name's always going to be brought up when it comes to our conversations about it. It sucks. And I feel so bad for this girl. And I feel bad. I almost feel worse for her than I do Bethany, because honestly, Bethany was saved from a lot of this stuff. She was saved from just about everything. She was the one on the very first floor. Nobody really talked about her too much. She did go under fire, and she was attacked a little bit when all this stuff was happening. But for the most part, she really didn't get the nasty of social media. There's just some gunk out here on social media. You guys seen what I've gone through. You see what my mods have gone through. You've seen what my family has gone through. It's sad to say that most of that was caused by somebody that I thought was a friend, but it still is, and that does happen. But these trolls are out here. These trolls out here, they don't care. They literally enjoy hurting other people. They wake up every day trying to figure out how they can hurt somebody else. And this is the kind of stuff that they do. They reach out to say Dylan, and then they start sending them email after email after email saying stuff like, why didn't you save your friends? Why did it take you so long? Just every single day, nonstop. It is just sad. And I wish people would stop that behavior, because at the end of the day, she is a victim. Yes, we have to talk about her. Yes, I understand that some of us are a little upset about the information, especially how long it took her to call law enforcement. I get that. But at this point, we're like, tomorrow is a one year, the 1 year milestone of this horrific event. At what point point does she get to just breathe? At what point does Dylan just get an opportunity to just breathe and recover? You guys got to remember, she has to go and sit on a stand. She needs to be empowered. She needs to feel empowered. She needs to feel powerful. She needs to feel beautiful. She needs to feel fearless. She needs to feel like she's got this. She doesn't need to be torn down any more than she already is. She's got already a lot of answers that she has to answer for. When Olivia and I first went out to the Moscow murders, it was to bring down the temperature. That's really why Olivia and I did that first trip. We didn't have any real information to go on to spend the kind of money that we had to spend to get there. It was because the whole community was scared. They were scared to come out. Parents were scared for their kids. The parents were halfway across this country listening to this going on the Idaho campus, knowing their child is literally on that campus, and they're literally a plane trip and hours away from helping their kids. It was the most helpless feeling for a lot of parents. People were reaching out to me, scared to death. So we went out there. And one of the major things that we did was go everywhere alone to show everybody how law enforcement was on the ground. Everywhere we turned, there was a law enforcement car, vehicle. We didn't go anywhere without knowing we were safe. That's really why we were out there that first trip. We were getting information too. We were interviewing people. But if you, and I don't think they ever released my court TV interview, but I'm sure it will be released some. But even when we were there at the memorial at the Kitty Dome, I was talking to them, and I even told them, you know, the reason why we're here is to tamper down some of the fear of these parents. You know, because I believed when law enforcement said that there was no threat to the public, I trusted them on that. But we do get some stuff like that, like even with Brian Laundrie, when I was out there in Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park, looking for Brian Laundrie, looking for, you know, where he could be or his remains or whatever we could find to put an end to this nonsense. I gotta say, you know, it was the little lies, you know, the water up to here crap. So that's really all I've got to say about Dylan Mortensen at this moment. Is I just hope people just leave her alone for a little bit. She needs to get her energy together. She needs to get her thoughts together. She's going to have an uphill battle. She's going to be beat up, guys. Okay, we don't need to beat her up. She's got to go on that stand and face Taylor and Brian Kohberger. She is going to be almost annihilated on that stand, and she's going to have to keep her composure. And we, as the public that knows Brian Kohberger is guilty of this heinous crimes, there's 4 victims, beautiful souls that were going to do amazing things for this country. I read a post from Christy yesterday on the Gonzalez family Facebook page. And it broke my heart. It really did. It broke my heart. Because she's talking about, you know, how yesterday was the last day a year ago that she saw her daughter. Her daughter had just bought the Range Rover. Big smile on her face. Walking out the door, they were going to go to all these events and have fun and dance and take pictures and be with their friends and just really, really living life and enjoying it to the fullest. Talking to her mother hours before she was brutalized. I just want them to have justice. Tomorrow's going to be a hard day for these 4 families, for many of us, you know, for the people that actually give a crap, you know, and there's a lot of us. There's a lot of us. There's a lot of people that just want to hurt people. But tomorrow's going to be a hard day for a lot of people. A lot of people. Their family, their friends, the extended family, the friends they never even met. It's hard to believe that Kaylee Gonzalez was watching the work that Olivia and I were doing. Loved the work that we were doing. That's how we met Steve. Steve reached out to Olivia. It's hard. It's hard. So I just ask that you guys keep Kaylee's, Maddie's, Xana's, and Ethan's family in all of your prayers over the next several days. They really are going to need it. They need a prayer chain, right? For strength, healing, patience, and justice. I hope you guys can help them with that. And it's sad to say, because while this family is grieving for their children, these families, I should say, these families are grieving for their children, want their children alive, happy, healthy, doing great things in this country, right? We have other types of parents, despicable parents, horrible parents, kind of like Don Wells, Candace Bly, Leilani Simon, and all the other ones. The ones that like to brutalize little children. We go from one polar opposite, where you've got parents just longing to have, you know, one more moment, one more second, one more pause in time to touch, feel, and smell their child that they'll never get to do. And you got another piece of shit on the other side of that, suffocating theirs. Suffocating theirs. I'm just curious what a 5-month-old child could ever do. That is so horrible. It's hard. I didn't mean to see the hippos. So a mother and her boyfriend are charged in the death of a 5-year-old child. A 5-year-old child. And there they are. And believe it or not, I feel bad for him. I do a little bit, but not. Because he had an opportunity to stop everything. And he chose not to. And he's complicit. But this evil person right here, I hope she burns in hell. She's evil. She's another Leilani Simon. But worse. But worse. Her infant child didn't even have a chance. Didn't even have a chance. Hold on a second. I've got a couple videos. It's going to be heartbreaking. So if you guys are, I don't know, this might be a trigger warning. Let me put it like that. I think that's the best way to do it, because this is really bad. Let me put this on. Why does it do that? I don't know why it's doing that, but it's doing it. It's giving me a commercial, but it's not letting me go past it. Give me just a second. There we go.
Across the country say they are simply burnt out.
That's not it. I'll go to this one. This one's up.
To report the death of a child, this document accuses Kaczarski of inflicting serious bodily injury and suffocating her 5-month-old.
First time,
Keenan.
There we go.
And Jeff, just within the last half an hour, we got our hands on these arrest documents, the actual warrant for Alyssa Kaczarski in this case for murder, felony child abuse, and concealing or failing to report the death of a child. This document accuses Kaczarski of inflicting serious bodily injury and suffocating her 5-month-old son. Now, Kaczarski was visibly emotional while the judge was reading this document in the courtroom, shaking her head while he described each one of the charges listed in this document. Now, here's everything that led up to this, starting back on September 28th, the date.
So I wanted to give you guys an update before he goes into the details of this case too much for all those people that are just coming in. So on this happened back in September, and the reason why we're covering this case is because of the new charges that were just levied on her. I think it was just a few days ago potentially. But what had happened is back September 28th. Law enforcement was called to her house. She called them. Her child was unresponsive. Her boyfriend, lied to law enforcement. And then I want to say it was around the middle of October. I can't remember the specific date that she was officially arrested, but I wanted to say it's like October 16th or October 17th. I'm pretty sure it was October 16th that she was arrested with those charges that he just said, the murder charges, the abuse charges, but she was recently charged with additional charges, and we're going to get to those in just a second. So now I'm going to let you guys hear a little more about this case.
Of this actual incident, Kaczarski is charged with murder, concealing the death of a child, and felony child abuse. Wilson investigators say that day, September 28th, they were called to a home on Little Rock Church Road in Lucama and found Kaczarski's 5-month-old son, Ragnar, dead. A search warrant from investigators says Kaczarski previously had 2 other children taken from her custody by Wilson Social Services. Kaczarski told deputies at the scene she put the child down for a nap in an outdoor shed behind the home, and when she went back outside to
an outdoor shed. Who puts their child in an outdoor shed for a nap? I can't.
Check on him, he was unresponsive. Another person in the courtroom told the same story and is also now being charged for it. WRAL interviewed Kaczarski's boyfriend, Taylor Lucas, at the scene that day after Ragnar's death. He said after Kaczarski found the child, he tried to perform CPR on the boy and then told the mother to call 911. Today, court documents say Lucas is charged with accessory to murder after the fact and lying to investigators at the scene about what exactly happened.
Did you guys see that? Here, let me take the banner off. I want to back it up. I want you guys to see his face. His face as he's looking at her as she's walking out. He was right there in the courtroom as she's walking out, and he's looking up at her. Hold on. Where is it? Right there. Right there. As she's walking out. So let's just get it. She's not even looking at him. She won't even look at him. Hold on, let's see. Look, she's looking down. Let's watch this.
CPR on the boy.
She won't even look at him.
The mother to call 911.
She's looking straight.
Today, court documents say Lucas is charged with accessory to murder after the fact and lying to investigators at the scene about what.
You can see almost in his face, like, you can't even look at me. You got me into this, and you can't even look at me, right? You can't even look at me, right? You got me into this mess, and you can't even look at me. Imagine that. She's evil. Evil. Question is, obviously he knew. He knew. And he covered it up. So I absolutely, he knew that child wasn't outside. And from what I'm hearing, it was suffocation.
What exactly happened? Wilson investigators say they were called to the home by Wilson Social Services, not by Lucas or Kaczarski, and that when deputies arrived, the child had already been dead for some time.
So they did so just to clarify, it was the Department of Children and Family Services that called law enforcement to do a wellness check. That the parents, both the man and the woman, none of them called. And when law enforcement did go over there to do that wellness check, they found the child had been deceased for some time. You got one side of our story today that the Gonzalez begging and pleading and wanting their child back. Maddie's parents pleading and begging and wanting their child back. Xana Kernodle's parents pleading and begging, wanting their child back. Ethan Chapin's family begging and pleading for their child back. He wasn't the dad. No, he's not the dad. He's not. He's the, I don't even think, he's just the boyfriend, from my understanding. I don't even know how long they've been together. if they've been together long. We have no earthly information about that, but this child was only 5 months old, and that was not this child's father.
Now, no final official cause of death has been listed yet by Wilson investigators or court documents pending an autopsy being conducted on the body of 5-month-old Ragnar Kucharski. At this point, no bond has been set for Kucharski. Taylor Lucas is facing a $100,000 secured bond. They both took court-appointed attorneys here this morning. Jeff.
So as you can imagine, my blood is boiling. My blood is flipping, boiling. And so this Kendall has kind of taken the forefront on this case in that area. And here's some more information.
A Wilson County mother now facing some new charges of crimes against nature.
There it is. Crimes against nature have been added. 6 counts of crimes against nature. So she was arrested with the child abuse, back in October, the middle of October. Now they've upgraded the charges to 6 charges of crimes against nature for the mother. The mother.
Month-old baby. 27-year-old Elisa Kucharski is charged with
shaking her head like she can't believe she's in court. What is going on with these parents? You know what? The 3, right? In these types of cases, it's always one, some, or all 3, right? Drugs, alcohol, and abuse. It wasn't the boyfriend that did this. It was the mother. The boyfriend tried to help the mother and got himself into hot water. And this is where I come back and I tell all the parents and all the friends and all the families, don't put your neck out when you're faced in a situation like this, because you are no good to the person you're trying to help when you're in the jail cell right next to them. And this is a prime example of that.
6 counts of crimes against nature. Arrest warrants claim Kucharski suffocated her baby, leading to his death. She's also charged with murder, child abuse, and concealment of a death. The child's official cause of death remains under investigation. Kucharski's boyfriend, 33-year-old Tyler Lucas, is also charged in connection to the child's death. Kucharski is set to appear in court on Monday for the charges related to crimes against nature. A Wilson County
crimes against nature. This should be interesting. This should be interesting. I would like to see how that is argued, because we deal with these cases a lot, especially this day and age where parents like to off their young children and older children like to off their parents, and the kind of culture that is just being inspired in our country for some unknown reason, and it's from an unknown source. So they try to make us believe, right? So they try to make us believe. How many people want to bet that there's drugs involved in this case? Put a 1 in the chat if you think that mother probably, most likely, is a drug addict. I don't know why I have that feeling that there's drugs involved here. Maybe it's the look of the both of them. That first impression that we don't like to say we do. I bet you there's drugs all over this. Hefty drugs. Those drugs are our boy, Grady Judd, is telling us where they're coming from, right? Telling us where they're coming from. And this is the product we're doing. We're risking our children in this country. We're risking all of our children and our grandchildren in this country. We've got to stop this. I guarantee that there is drugs written all over this case. And it's such a preventable death. A 5-month-old little baby boy. 5 months old. Didn't even have a chance. Didn't even have the chance. You know, I got to tell you, things, it's not perfect. It's not a perfect science when you're trying to get sober. It's not. You make a lot of mistakes. Some of us hit the wall a little more than others. Some of us have relapses. Some of us can go years and years and years and never experience a relapse until you do, but you got to start somewhere. And even when you do relapse, you got to dust yourself off, get yourself up, and keep moving forward. And then when you break that chain, you teach that to other people. And you continue that cycle, and you continue that cycle, and you continue that cycle until we help. Because I got to tell you, one of the worst things in the world for me is covering these cases with children. It makes my blood boil. I cannot express that enough. When it comes to children, I am so thankful that there is law enforcement between me and that parent. 18 months. Oh, congratulations. Congratulations. Which one do I want to do? Hold on, let me find it. I can't remember. Right? No, I think that's congratulations. I gotta wait till it finishes. I try to turn it off and all it does is replay it again. Congratulations. That's exactly what it is. And you know what? And things are just gonna, there's just gonna be times in your life where you just feel low. And when you get complacent, go to a meeting. 90 meetings in 90 days. For those that are struggling with drugs and alcohol, please get yourself help today. Please get yourself help today. There's a whole lot of programs. I promise, no matter where you go across this country, across this world, there is a meeting for you. I don't want your children dying because you have an illness. Okay? And it's an illness. It's nothing to be ashamed of. So get up, go fix yourself, make sure you're not part of the problem, and you become part of the solution.
And today, they face the judge for the first time since the 5-month-old died. Hello, and thanks for joining us. I'm Gerald Owens.
And I'm Deborah Morgan. Alyssa Kucharski is accused of suffocating and seriously injuring her baby Ragnar, leading up to his death at a home in Wilson County.
Her boyfriend, Taylor Lucas, is charged as an accessory. WR's Keenan Willard broke the news of the homicide investigation 3 weeks ago, even speaking with Lucas as part of the story.
Keenan is live now outside the Wilson courthouse with what new documents reveal. Keenan?
And I think we already watched that. I just wanted you to see that because we've already watched that on one of the other clips. But here is something that I did want you guys to see. And it's her page. There she is right there. And this is her page. And I got to say, she hasn't posted very much, but people have already gone here and started posting on her comments wherever they can post. The world is so effed up now. Being a D gets you what you want. Being a D gets you what you want. Being a good person gets you treated like garbage. When did everything get so backwards? And people are just putting comments. You're the devil. Just going in here. They're not keeping their comments quiet, especially when you see that. You got down here and read this. You should be ashamed of yourself. I can no longer call you family. You got demoted to nothing in my book. I'm so glad I didn't come and see you when I had my oldest, because if you would have abused my kids, I would have been in jail for life. You need to go get fixed and never have kids again. You need Jesus. That baby or kids did nothing wrong. Now I see why you didn't have your kids and why you would never talk about why they got taken. I have both of my kids and maybe one on the way. You make me sick and you're not even in jail. You're an unfit egg donor. Jeez Louise. The guys you had kids with should have taken your kids away, I'm so sorry, but not sorry. You will get what's coming to you. I mean, this is her family and friends. She's done. And I can guarantee it's going to be a lot like Leilani Simon, where all these people knew and did nothing. The neighbors saw Quentin out running the streets all alone. He wasn't even 2 years old yet. He wasn't even 2 years old yet. And I can tell you, some of those streets, especially the one right out in front of his house, you saw it. It was busy. It was the only cut through to US 17. It was highly used. That child could have been killed multiple times and nobody cared. And when the Department of Children and Family Services were going to come and take the kids away, Billy Joe steps up to the plate and says, hey, I'll take custody of the kids. I'll take them away from her drug-addicted, abusive mother. And I'll take care of them. Only to turn around and hand them right back to the monster she just took them away from. And when she did that, one of them died. But she has no culpability in that, right? The neighbors have no culpability in that. They're not required to report crimes or crimes against children or neglect. These cases make my blood boil. Before we go, I want to pull this up. Don't forget to go here. Make your vote today. Tomorrow, Manic Monday. There it is. Your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you go over and you got your 9 and 10. So there's 10 entries for our new memberships. Go through them, pick wisely, because we're going to be stuck with them for a while. So you guys are going to have to like the names you see. Right? But I'm so happy that you guys get an opportunity to pick the name. I really am. Justice for Quentin. I know. Absolutely. Justice for Quentin. Justice for Quentin. All right, guys. Well, I just want to tell you guys, I love you. God bless. Don't forget we have church. Church is starting in 2 hours. 2 hours. We're about to have church service. I would like all you there. We need to pray for Betty, right? We need to pray for Betty because Betty's cussing, right? She's swearing a lot. So I hope all the other content creators get their swear jar and help us raise money for a good cause. Layla Santinello, a beautiful mom that disappeared. She does have problems in her life. She had problems in her life, but it doesn't mean she doesn't matter. And this is the way we show everybody matters here on the Bullhorn Betty channel, not just the ones that make those big numbers. So I hope everybody walks the walk and not just talks the talk. All right, guys, make it a great day. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And guys, you might want to stay to the end because I think I'm gonna go out with a couple videos, and then we're gonna go out with me doing the great stuff that I do. So stick around, guys. I love you. Go make it a great Sunday. We need Jesus today, so pray for us. Pray for the families of the cases we covered. The Idaho 4, tomorrow is going to be a tough day, guys. We need to have our prayers up. We need to have, the families need help today. The families need help today. They need help tomorrow. And they're going to need help all the way until we get the justice that they deserve and their loved ones deserve. God bless.
Let me tell y'all something. You ain't got to ever worry about getting nobody back for some shit they done did to you. Because quiet as it's kept, everybody working get paid. Let me break that down so you understand what I mean. Everybody working getting paid. See, some of you motherfuckers don't even know that you're working. But payday comes after a while, bitch. You being messy? You're working. You gossiping about people? You're working. You stealing, lying, cheating, or just all around doing some fuck shit? You're working. And payday is on its motherfucking way. Ha ha! Let me tell you something, you working motherfuckers. Some of you bitches got overtime in that bitch too. Ooh, that payout gonna be good. So when you get your check, bitch, don't complain. You worked for it.
Andrea, aka Bullhorn Betty here. Look what I found. It looks like a lot of people on YouTube. Right here. Right here. This is a real ass right here. Like many people on YouTube. All you need to do is show an asshole a little love. Right? Right? Tell him. What you need to do? What you need to do? Huh? What you need to do? Oh, too many assholes on YouTube. Say it. Say it with me, baby. Say there's just too many people. Too many people on YouTube that look like you, huh? So the next time you want to be an ass, maybe you should come out here and hang out with the ass. Just saying. You want to be a jackass? There's your brother. Peace out. Bullhorn Betty style.